Hi, I'm Jill from June Taylor with another innovative solution. Did you ever want to join your quilt blocks that are made quilt as you go? Now we have a perfect way to do that with our Sash and a Dash. It's pre-sewn sashing. It's sold by the yard in 7 colors with matching binding. Open the casing and nest your quilt block inside the casing. And then we're just going to run a top stitch down the edge. Take your next block, open the casing, and just do the same thing. To join rows, we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to run our Sash and a Dash across the row. You can run a beautiful embroidery stitch down here to embellish Sash and a Dash, or you can even put a strip of fabric down here. Here's an example where we added a fabric strip by folding under raw edges and top stitching over Sash and a Dash. And if you like to make t-shirt quilts, go ahead and quilt your blocks and then join them with Sash and a Dash.
Get ready to celebrate sewing like never before with the Go Sewing Machine die. This applique die features 7 fun and unique shapes that work together to build a delightful sewing machine that is perfect for adding to all kinds of projects. You can cut up to 4 pre-fused machines with all their parts in just one pass through any Go cutter. Your little sewing machine will measure 7 inches wide and 6 1/8 inches high. This die is perfect for so many projects. How about adding it to a sewing machine cover or even a shirt or denim jacket? The sky's the limit for all the clever projects you'll soon be stitching up with this die. When it comes time to finish off your shapes, AccuQuilt offers free downloadable outline embroidery with your choice of satin, blanket, or motif stitches. Or simply finish the edges with your sewing machine. We know you'll be stitching up dozens of different projects with the Go Sewing Machine die because at AccuQuilt we help you cut time so you can quilt and embroider even more. Hey quilters, today is all about cutting and organizing your pieces for this AQS AccuQuilt-Along.
Stay tuned and see what we're up to today.
Hi quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Bodker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
Okay, we are so excited about
We
this
are
quilt.
so excited about it.
So fun. Welcome to part one of the Go Warm Wishes AQS AccuQuilt-Along. Today we're going to show you how to cut and organize your pieces for this darling project by Amanda Harward of Larkspur Quilts. It is so cute.
It is so cute. Quilters, in case you missed it, the first show for this Quilt-Along series was the introduction. It was at the end of one of your AccuQuilt Live shows 2 weeks ago, and we went over using the Go Coffee and Tea Medley die.
Here, I'll show them.
Along with the Go Tea Party die, and the 2-inch finished half square multiple die.
Which is right here.
Right. If you are not an AccuQuilt user yet, there are traditional rotary cutting directions provided by AQS that were in a blog post that same day, along with templates for cutting.
Excellent.
But we are going to be using our dies. And we also talked about fabric variations.
We did, because this is such a great project to kind of just go to your stash and see what you have. Or
just go to the store and get something that really talks to you, because that's what I did.
yeah, it was really fun. We had a good time. All right, it is beneficial to watch that show before you start in the Go Warm Wishes. While hanging, to make sure so be sure and check it out on AccuQuilt's video gallery, our Facebook page, or YouTube channel.
That's right.
Okay, now I'm going to walk back here because
Okay.
this project has 3 units. Okay, one is for the teapot.
Yes.
The other is for the teacup.
Yes.
And it's super cute because you have the little tea bag and the tag, which is super cute.
And that's on the die with the teapot
yes.
on it. Yes.
And then this is what we call a broken dishes block, which is kind of a pun because these are dishes. And you're going to use your 8-inch cube, shape number 5, or you can use that half square multiples die.
Right.
Lots of places in AccuQuilt can you find
Yes,
the 2-inch finished
yes.
half square triangle.
You can also find that on our Go Value die that comes with a standalone Go cutter. And that die is a great value. It has 3 different shapes on it, and one of them is the 2-inch finished half square triangle. You can also find it in your 4-inch cube as shape number 3.
3. So lots of places to look for it, which is kind of fun.
So, okay, let's take a look at my sample blocks.
Which you are all going to love.
I have broken out of my blue period, and I am firmly with my favorite purple.
Look at this darling
this.
little purple berries.
I absolutely
what are
love
those
this.
called?
So I have no idea. This
Purple
is
berries.
a print by Robin Pickens.
Okay.
And I am totally in love with her
It's
things
darling.
right now.
It's darling.
Then this is the teacup. And mine's a little different. We'll talk about that when we get to embroidery. So here's the cup and the saucer, my tea bag and tag.
Right.
And then here's my broken dishes block.
Which is so darling.
Cute, so cute.
Sorry. Okay. And so here is a sample of my 3 blocks. So here is my teapot.
Look
I
at
really
that.
liked the modern look. Now, I don't usually drink tea, so I'm going to pretend like it's cocoa.
Okay.
And then, so I don't have a tea bag.
Okay.
Which is fine because I have the cocoa bag or the cocoa cup, but look at the super cute fabric.
You could take the cupcake die and take the frosting off the top of the cupcake die and be like whipped cream.
I could.
I'm just saying.
Just saying, could add that to there. And then these are my broken dishes
Those are
blocks.
so cute. Oh my gosh.
And so I liked the
Look
fact
at
that
it together.
So I took the red and then I took the
love
black.
it.
So to me, this really worked really well. I like the bright colors, but this is truly such a quick and easy project.
And you could make it seasonal. I saw online somebody already making theirs out of Halloween fabric.
I know. So quilters, the great thing about this pattern is it's a perfect template
Yes.
pattern. If these shapes aren't your cup of tea,
No.
think about other embroidery shapes, like penguins, flamingos. I really thought about doing flamingos. Flowers, or we have seen so many people do kittens.
Kittens, the kitten
Kitten
die.
die is
Yes, that was
super
a
cute.
die to try. You could even change up the blocks to only have applique shapes on every other block and use
Right.
solid squares in between with a focus fabric. Whatever you want to do, just make it your own and have fun with it. This is just a fun project. So we've fused some of our cotton shapes that we're
Yes.
cutting. I need to fuse some more of my cotton shapes because I didn't get them all fused, so I
Okay.
don't know if I'll get everything cut on the show or not.
Okay.
But we have a variety of fusibles on our website.
Right.
And you count that fusible as half a layer of fabric.
Right.
So that means you're going to be able to cut up to 4 layers of fused cotton. But you can also use other kinds of fabric.
Yeah.
So you could incorporate denim.
Denim, I thought, was a great idea.
Flannel or wool or something sparkly. You just want to go with 1 layer to start with of those heavier layers. And remember, 1 layer of denim does not include the seams and the welts and the pockets and all the things.
Yeah, just 1 layer.
Just saying.
Just 1 layer. Okay, so I'm going to cut some teapots. And since this is on a 6x12 die board,
Okay.
I'm going to use our Gomi.
Okay.
Which is perfect for it. So for those of you who have Gomi, you could totally make this project. You could get the value die, which has that half square triangle. And then the coffee and tea medley is
Okay.
also on a 6x12.
Great.
So I have already pre-fused my fabric. And like I said, I'm not cutting my little tea bags. And you can always use up to 4 layers of pre-fused fabric. Keep in mind, quilters, this teapot
Yes.
is directional.
It is.
So is the teacup.
Now, I happen to have tea bag fabric ready and tea tag fabric.
yes, I would love to cut you
Would you
some.
like to cut some of that for me?
would.
We can cut a smaller piece of that off if you want.
No.
Or you can just cut
4 layers.
4 tags. This is only big enough for, this was kind of a scrap.
here,
It's
then I'll
only
just
big
do
enough
one.
for one.
I'll just do one.
For one.
Okay, there we go.
Tea
Okay,
bag.
I'm just going to cut one.
So for my tea bags, I just dug around and found some old muslin fabric.
Oh, that's a great
Because
idea.
it was pre-washed. You know, muslin, it kind of is crinkly, wrinkly, and it's
Looks
that
like a tea
kind
bag.
of, it does. It looks like a tea bag. I was super excited about that.
Okay, will you hand me a 6x12 cutting mat, Miss Erica?
Well, look at you wanting things. Here
I
we go.
know. All right, here we go. So again, I'm going to use my Go Me. You could use your Go Big, your Go fabric cutter.
Yes.
This is such a great project for beginning quilters because AccuQuilt, we're going to show you when you cut those half square triangles, we've already cut off the dog ears for you and everything.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a little love. I'm going to slide. Boy, it is sticky here in the Dream Studio. All right, there is your tea bag and tag, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I'm going to put those over here.
And then look,
Oh, there's your teapot.
so cute.
So I need another teapot, and I've got
Do you have
some
some-
scrap. Well, I've got some scraps here, so I need to see if they're going to be big enough.
'Kay.
So what
I'll
I'm
let you
going to
have
do
that.
is take the die and lay my fabric on. Oh, yes, it is.
Would you like some skizzers?
I would love some skizzers. I'm going to just kind of fold it over, and I rough cut my rough cutting. Do you rough cut your rough
cut
cutting?
my rough cutting. Especially when I'm doing applique because I'm going to keep like all of this.
Oh,
pre-fused
yes.
fabric.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so then my lid is this fabric.
There you go. And this is how you want to do it, quilters. You just want to measure or just lay your fabric over and just do a rough cut. All right? You don't want to cover the whole die.
Right, you don't have to. And when if you're cutting all your pieces, you know, I'm down to just needing to cut those stray bits.
Yes.
If you will.
Yes. I'm going to move my Go Me
So
here.
that's what I'm doing.
So while Erica is pre-fusing her shapes there,
Yes. Oh, that's okay. I'll keep up with.
are you good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to kind of square this off. And
To make your teacups, so let me show you my little teacup block. Oh, there's the teapot. here's the teacups. Okay. So to cut the teacups, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to pre-fuse your fabric. You're going to layer the cups and the saucers. And then later in an upcoming show, we're going to stitch a line. I'm going to show you how to do this raw edge quilting, which was super fast. I had never done it before, Erica, and I will do it more often.
You haven't been like doing a ton of applique, have you?
I haven't for a while.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, so what I do when I cut my fusible, if I'm just doing like one little piece, I cut it just slightly smaller.
I do too.
Than my fabric, because you don't want to get the fusible pressed onto your iron or onto your ironing board or your wool mat or whatever you're using. I'm just all over the place. Don't mind me, quilters, I'm just taking over.
Yep.
All right. Then I'm gonna roll this up and stick it someplace safe.
There you go.
Okay. So now we've got a wool mat. So if you've never seen anybody, if you haven't worked with applique before, let me get my iron over here. I want to show you just how simple this is. Oh, there we go.
I'm going to take your scissors.
All right. So when you look at your fusible, there's a side that's going to have kind of a texture to it and a side that's just paper. The texture side is where that fabric glue, for lack of a better term, is. So you want to put that textured or sticky or whatever side down towards the back of your fabric and then just press.
Yep. And those instructions are going to actually be on the fusible. They're going to tell you to have a nice hot iron. Don't use steam.
Right, and it'll tell you the temperature and everything for that. So I'm going to do that with this one as well. And if it's gotten wrinkled in your stash or wherever, just give it a little press. I do not want to burn my arm.
Please don't.
Yes. So then, again, I cut this just a hair smaller.
Yep.
And again, I'm going to press.
So this is great. You can get these wool mats on our website, and the Liso irons will soon have on our website.
Yes. We don't have a date yet. Hang with us.
Yep.
We're going to have the green, and I think we're going to have the turquoise.
Excellent. All right.
They're so pretty.
You want to cut those, and while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about our squares.
Okay.
All right. So Erica's going to use our Go Big fabric cutter.
And my teapots are facing the way that they are on the die. So I'm just going to put here, I'll pull over so you can see what I'm doing over here, Kenyon. So
I'll let you do that while
I'm going to put it right side up. So you want to cut all of yours, unless you want them facing each other, you want them all right side up. Okay, and then I'm going to lay this for my lid over here. And just go ahead and put that through the Go Big.
Now, Erica, it just stopped there when it came through. How come?
It did. I've got my Go Big die catcher over here. It's coming out later this summer, and it's so cool. It just fits right underneath your cutter and gives your die someplace to come out. If you don't have one, it's still going to sit there and wait for you. But this is really cool because look at this. It opens up. You can store your power brick in here. It's got openings on either side for your cords. Or as you can see, Pam and I prefer to keep our snacks in here. So that's what works for us. So it's whatever works for you. You can enter your email address to get more information about this on our website, or you can pre-order through your local AccuQuilt retailer. Okay, so I'm going to come back and get my teapot.
All right, and we can move this iron because I think we're done
pressing.
Yes, I pressed out my block. We'll talk about our squares.
Okay, and I love that it cuts out the little center. Okay.
Super cute.
So, and again, Pam and I save these little fused pieces because you just never know.
Just never know when you need a cute little purple piece of fabric.
And I'm going to turn the iron off. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about the background square. So I'm going to come back here and show everyone. So these are the background squares. They are 8-inch finished. So we used our 8.5-inch square die, which will fit through your Go and your Go Big. And it's super slick. You're just going to cut 9-inch with the fabric.
Yep.
Fan fold back and forth across your die.
Yep.
And it's going to cut 6 squares at a time. You need 16 for the project, so keep that in mind. And then this is what it looks like when it's done.
Now, I have to admit, I cut mine bigger. I use the 9.5-inch die
talk about
because
that.
I'm going to use my embroidery machine. And you can see, when you use an embroidery machine, you may have a little bit of pucker. It may pull your square out a little smaller.
Okay.
So I went ahead and used that 9.5-inch and then trimmed. The other thing that it does is if you get off kilter a little bit and you need to straighten it out, you can.
Okay.
So I actually cut mine a little bit bigger, but that's because I was using.
But that's really good information to know. So you feel, you could cut a 10-inch square, and then you can just trim it down.
Right, I used the 9-inch finish, 9.5-inch cut, and I had more than I needed.
Oh, good. Okay.
You'll have more. I used like a blanket stitch on mine, but if you use a satin stitch, you probably would.
Oh, you get a little
bit more of that
pucker.
scrunching. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to put our pieces in our high-tech way of storing things.
Oh, yes.
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags. Now, at home, I have baskets for my pieces. I have one basket for my cup and saucer pieces, and I have one basket for my teapot and lid pieces that I keep by my embroidery machine.
Okay.
But here, I'm going to put everything into my Ziploc bag.
Okay, good. And I'm just going to put a little bindy clip on this because just like you, I have ones at home as well.
Yes.
All right, so Erica, now we've talked about our teacups and our teapots.
Yes.
So now let's talk about broken dishes.
Okay, so for the broken dishes block, you're going to need a total of 144 dark and 144 light, or your background. So I'm saying dark and light.
Yes.
Because my background is light, but maybe your background is dark. It does, either way, you need 144 half square triangles of each.
Right.
And you can use, as we pointed out, there are lots of ways that you can cut 2-inch finished half square triangles, but I was using the multiples die.
So I'm going to give you the multiples
So
die.
she's going to give me the multiples die. And it's pretty slick because you can cut a lot. So
so many.
when you look at it, and you may not have this die, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So you only need
12 on the die.
144.
You need 144
of each.
6 layers of 12. It goes pretty quick.
Right.
It goes pretty quick.
But the trick is when you're laying your fabric out, and Erica's going to show you.
Yes. You want your right sides together.
Right.
And it's hard to tell on the camera because mine actually has a print. It's really fun fabric.
Cute.
It has like little gray X's and little tiny different colored O's, including a purple that matches my fabric perfectly.
It's darling.
But if you put the right sides together when you cut it, then they're already together for you to sew them together.
Yeah, and it's just going to cut off the dog ears, and it's going to be fabulous. So Erica did exactly what I'm going to do. I measured from here to here on my single. This is from shape number 5 from my 8-inch cube. 1/4 inch on either side. I just rough cut with the fabric, and I'm putting right sides together. And Erica, could you hand me a 6x6?
Certainly.
mat? Okay.
There's one for you. I
And
need a
if you-
10 by 10.
If you go to the AccuQuilt website, there is a fabric requirement chart there that tells you on this shape, the one that I'm using, how many you can get in a strip, and how many you can cut in a yard.
That's a great tip.
It is. All right, so I'm gonna put my mat on. Remember, these mats are gonna get hundreds of cuts. You can flip them, turn them, flip them, turn them. The dies are gonna get thousands of cuts.
All right, you go ahead and cut
Okay,
yours.
you ready?
Yep.
Okay. It's so easy. Okay.
I'm gonna cut mine.
Look at all of those half square triangles,
Look
Erica.
at all of those.
Okay. So since we've cut right sides together, now we can just take them right off the die and stitch from here to here is a 1/4 of an inch seam, and you can just chain piece for days.
That's right. And I've done the same thing. You can see it here.
Yep.
Pull mine apart.
There you go.
They're ready to go.
Okay. So that's how easy. The broken dishes is only half square triangles.
Yes. So super fun, super easy. You're gonna have this one cut out in just a quick minute, right?
Yes. So you and I are using specific colors. Can I make this project scrappy? Quilters are gonna ask.
Of course you can make this scrappy. Actually, I would love to see it made scrappy,
Yes.
wouldn't you? Think about using scraps for those teapots and teacups. You could even use scraps for your broken dishes blocks.
That would be really
That would
fun.
be really fun, and it plays up like the broken dishes.
Or think about using 30s reproduction fabric for the teapots.
Classic blue and white china
Yes.
patterns, all your grandmas have, I have.
Yes.
Think about making this project, in all fairness, it came from my mother. Think about making this project on your own. Or if you're going to give as a gift, what color would your receiver like?
Oh, there you go.
So
Okay.
I know I could keep this, or I could give this to Judy because Judy T loves purple.
Oh, she does, and she loves tea.
But you know what I'm gonna say you should also do?
But
Right now,
Right.
you should cut your binding.
yes.
If you know what you're going to cut for your binding, go ahead
Right.
and cut it now. You've got all your dies out.
Use that
So
2.5
grab
inch
your
strip.
2.5-inch strip die and cut your binding.
Yeah.
Everything's already out. You've already got a mess going in your quilting room. So just go ahead, cut it out, and then it's done.
I think
Just
for
put it
mine, this
aside.
one, I think I might cut flange binding.
Oh, you think you will?
I think I might. For flange binding, you need 2 dies, 1.5 cut
Right.
and 1 3/4 cut.
Right.
And we have a bunch of videos on how to make flange binding, but I think I'm going to do flange.
I think that's fun.
I think so.
I think that's fun. You know, organizing for this one is not nearly as important as it has been for some of the others.
Right.
And we're going to give you a clue as to our next quilt-along.
Are we?
Yeah. We're
Oh,
just going to
okay.
tell them to think about organization before we start the next one. That's all we're
Yes.
going to say.
Yes.
That's all we're going to say. Think
All right.
about organization.
All right, so I'm going to put my half square triangles so I don't lose them in
Okay.
my zippy bag.
Oh, I bet everybody would want to know what our fabrics are. Do you remember? This one
no.
I already talked about. This is a Kimberbell Basics, and so that's Maywood. That's your red.
Yes, and I can look. I'll make sure in the next show that I
And it's in
have
the
it.
blog, too. It's
Oh.
in the blog, too.
And speaking of the blog, first of all, share all of your fabrics and blocks on our AQS Project Parade Facebook page.
Yes.
Erica and I are part of that group. We would love to see what fabrics you're using. Already, some of you have posted
Already.
of what you're doing. That's how we knew so many of you were doing the kitten dye.
Yes.
And one of you, who's my new favorite friend, is making Halloween. You also want to check out the AccuQuilt blog because the lovely Erica will have a post each Wednesday during the
Yes.
quilt-along going over the details from the day's events. So be sure and sign up so you'll be notified whenever the blog post goes live.
Okay, so I said this is a Robin Pickens, and that's a Moda.
Yes.
This is Quilter's Linen by Robert
Oh,
Kaufman.
I like that a lot.
This one is actually by Blank Quilting, which is a newer company I wasn't as familiar with. Found it at my local quilt store, and I really loved it.
Okay.
And the green, gosh, I don't remember.
Okay. Maybe the green was from your
The
scraps.
green may have been from my scraps. It's, Maywood Studio Shadow Play.
There we go. So be sure and share all of those with us on our.
And this is also a Maywood print. I remember this. This is another Kimberbell Basic, and it is a Maywood Studios.
All right, Erica, we need to give away $100
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot.
reward points.
Oh.
All right, the lucky winner of $100 in AccuQuilt reward points is, drum roll please,
Andrea B. from Hamilton, Ohio. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, I wonder what she's going to get.
I know, but I hope it's the tea party. All right, quilters, don't forget we have plenty of special offers available for you on our website.
To get an order in now, just open a new tab on your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party. You'll see current deals. You can place your order. It's all good.
All right, quilters, it's time for us to get ready for our next show. We hope today's show was just what you needed to inspire you to get started cutting your fabric for the Go Warm Wishes wall hanging.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. Join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. We have tons of fun. Next time, Eric and I will be sewing our broken dishes units for the Quilt-Along. Hope to see you there.